So if we're looking at 6 months of training, let's call it 6 4-week blocks. A beginner lifter might do 3 hypertrophy blocks, 2 strength blocks, and 1 peaking block. An intermediate lifter might be 2 hypertrophy, 3 strength, and 1 peaking. And then an advanced lifter, so let's say 10 plus years of serious strength training, serious powerlifting training, it could be 0 or 1 hypertrophy block, depending on, again, if you've maxed out your weight class. That 1 hypertrophy block might not even be true hypertrophy. It might be more just general training to help you stay healthy and to build work capacity, something like a bridge block in the Juggernaut AI app. Then you're going to go for 3 or 4 strength blocks, and then probably into 2 peaking blocks. So up to 8 weeks of peaking, or if you're more maybe a middle weight class lifter, 90 kilos type of person, that could be more of a 5 or 6 week peaking block. But beginner, more hypertrophy; advanced, more peaking. And if you have a really long time to train, you have a full year to train and you're just getting ready for this one meet. But even with that, you don't want to go like, oh, I'm going to do 6 months of hypertrophy and then 4 months of strength and into 2 months of peaking. I'd suggest there more to do like, if you have this really long extended timeline, or you're just training to train to be the strongest version of yourself that you can, go like 2 hypertrophy, 3 strength, 1 peak, then maybe 3 hypertrophy, 2 strength, 1 peak. If you don't really care about your 1 rep maxes, you can skip those peaking phases as well. Not a huge deal, but understand that hypertrophy potentiates strength and strength potentiates hypertrophy. So while that bigger muscle is going to have the potential to produce more force, then once you make it stronger during the strength phase, now you can go back to hypertrophy and use a heavier weight, which is going to elicit more stimulus to build the bigger muscle, and so on and so forth. The question I get a lot of times is, do you have to be in the same phase for everything all the time? The answer is no, but I wouldn't get any lift into peaking while you're doing hypertrophy for others, or vice versa. You could be 1 phase away. So let's say a lot of people's upper body and their bench press is going to respond the best to hypertrophy training. So maybe you move on to strength in the deadlift while you stay in hypertrophy for the bench press, or you need a longer peaking block because you're really strong in the deadlift, so you move into peaking in the deadlift while you stay in strength for the bench press and squat. But don't let yourself get into peaking for the deadlift while you're still in hypertrophy for the bench press or hypertrophy for the squat, because there's going to be a little bit too much interference with the qualities that you're trying to develop there.